Hey everybody, it's Eri from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan. And seriously, everyone, seriously, the use case for the digital asset XRP is accelerating so fast. I'm going to share with you two examples, one of which I will share second, has me smiling ear to ear. But the main purpose for this video was to share with you that we learned from Tomo Onishi, the CEO of FX Coin, who is a former JP Morgan Deutsche Bank executive and also served as the deputy chairman of the Tokyo Foreign Exchange Market, has his PhD in economics. He wrote that he did it. And what he did is he used XRP to settle debt obligations between the Sumitomo Group companies. He also said that this is the first step towards creating a swap market for crypto assets. Swaps are usually done between very large companies and financial institutions in a contract between two parties on pre-agreed cash flows. And it is a financial instrument, often a hedge against the currency exchange rate fluctuations. A lot of people have vision in this space, and Mr. Onishi is one of them. He wants to commercialize virtual currency swap trading, as this Bloomberg article in Japan was published in April of this year. There's a lot of coverage on FX Coin lately, and it's just not getting that good coverage in the West. So this is a very important video if you hold the digital asset XRP. The Sumitomo Corporation Group, this is a company that really has its roots all the way back to the Edo period in the 1860s. It was a part of a zaibatsu, Sumitomo was. It has since, of course, been broken up, as all zaibatsus have had happen to them. It currently employs 72,000 employees worldwide, and it is, well, has an impressive list of shareholders. Listen carefully. Of course, the Sumitomo Mitsui Banking Corp is a shareholder. The Sumitomo Trust is a shareholder, and the largest bank in Japan, Tokyo Mitsubishi UFJ, is a shareholder, along with Berkshire Hathaway, who acquired 5% of the stock in this company 4 months ago. So we're not talking about small companies just doing proof of concepts. This is really a big deal. And the transactions that need to happen on demand for these companies, there is, of course, that risk of fiat price fluctuations. So XRP is the perfect digital asset to bridge that in a very short period of time, so fast, and it's so low cost that these foreign exchange contracts, it is really going to be a useful digital asset. And with this creation of the swap market for crypto assets, according to Mr. Onishi, he said that it is indispensable. Now, if I take you back to July, when there was an article, again, published in Japan, this is where he talks about how the foreign exchange market on a daily basis is traded to the tune of about 6.59 trillion. And 2/3 of those trades are done in a related swap trade. So if crypto, which only trades at this time, this article was written, about 39 billion a day, it is done primarily in spot transactions, settled the same day or within a few days. FX Coin wants to create a marketplace, a service for spots, forwards, and swaps. And if you don't know, I'm going to tell you that the XRP is going to be purchased from SBI. SBI is actually a financial backer of FX Coin. It was in this April 2020 investor relation slide that it was explained that the efforts to create a swap market and to expand actual demand for crypto assets was accelerating. You can see that at the top. And for the financial institutions that are using crypto assets, swap trading is necessary to hedge risk. This is, and as you can see at the bottom of this slide, going to increase the use of crypto assets and also improve the liquidity with the derivatives that are expected to trade. I want to point out this company on the right. So you can see the SBI Group has invested in FX Coin, and also they invested in Clear Markets. Clear Markets is a company that is in the United States, and they are also considering an additional investment and possibly a joint venture establishment. Now, this is very typical Japanese. When there is going to be a big announcement, usually a little bit leaks out first. And this is so much the pattern that you see from SBI, that they tell you just a little bit before those big announcements come. So Clear Markets conducts a swap execution facility, an SEF, regulated by the Commodities Future Trading Commission, meeting the Dodd-Frank requirements. And in 2018, SBI took a 12% stake in the company. So this is really a big deal, everyone. This is the start of solving real problems within the financial sector that involves the largest of players. And this is the news that has me smiling ear to ear. So Flare Networks, they announced that they came to an agreement with a consortium of 12 Japanese cryptocurrency exchanges that is going to be led by BitBank to enable the distribution of the Spark token for all those XRP holders that choose to claim that airdrop by being on the correct site. Which, if you want to know if you're in the right place for that screen capture on the 11th to the 12th, depending on where you are in the world, go to the Flare Networks website, and they have a pinned tweet that gives you all of the places that are officially going to support that airdrop. Can you imagine? In one solid swoop from Japan, 12 exchanges are going to participate. So remember I said that this is an association, the Virtual Currency Association, and they always make decisions like this in lockstep. It's done through a consensus. And yeah, they kind of did it at the last moment. And yes, SBI VC Trade, of course, is participating. So it'll be about half of the exchanges in Japan are all going to participate. I really want to say congratulations to Hugo. It's very, very exciting. Wow, everybody. I mean, it just is starting to happen so fast, where this digital asset is much more than just a speculative asset. It has real use case utility, which will drive the demand, which will then have impact on supply, which I don't have to finish that sentence. You know what I'm getting at. And so those people who say that it is a centralized project, or that it's just a banker's coin, or that it is a scam, or that it is whatever, no, 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 and no. And I am ready to bet my stack on it. All right, we're jumping to the fluff. Yes, a brand new whiskey barrel aged chocolate KitKat. So the chocolate is aged in these whiskey barrels from Scotland for 180 days. It has been created by a famous patissier in Japan. It's a limited edition and it will become available on the 15th of December. I had to tell you about that. And the next little fluff story is really related to today's video because I want to share with you about how the futures market, the very first in the world, was created here in Japan. So the samurai in Japan, they were tied to the income of rice. Their value was based on the price of rice. And in around 1710, the spot price on rice fell very hard. And it was kind of stuck at this low price. At that time, the Japanese government, or the shogun, he prohibited the trade of futures contracts for commodities. It was regarded, in his opinion, a form of gambling, but it was so needed to help boost the price at that time that all of the rice traders and the brokers and the merchants pleaded with the shogun to reconsider. So the first rice futures, the world's first, began to trade as a financial instrument at the Dojima Exchange in Osaka, which was the financial hub at the time. It's about 2 hours south of Tokyo by bullet train. And here you can see a ukiyo-e print, which is a wood cut. It's a block print that's carved out of wood. And you can see these river waterways in Osaka. Osaka was known as the city of waterways because it had all of these thoroughfares of water that connected the city. Tokyo had a lot too, still does, but Osaka had a whole lot. And these white buildings are called kura. They're the storage houses for the rice, and also for all the goods that came in from the sea, which were brought in by these big ships here. And then these ships had these smaller boats that then could get into these narrow waterways. And this is how the trade was done. And these kura, you can see the mon on the top, which is the crest or the brand of that particular broker or company. So it could have been sake, it could have been soy sauce, could have been miso, rice, whatever was being delivered would be stored in these storage houses. So this is quite interesting because this is a real license from that period of time. The Tokugawa government issued these what's called a kabu nakama, and it was required if you were a trader or a broker. At that time, in the Edo period, there were 500 rice traders and 800 rice brokers. And this is a real kabu nakama from that period. It's from Matsu Mae. You can see Matsu, which is pine, Mae is in front of. So this is the brand. And this is kabu nakama. So this is a real license. It was listed on the Yahoo auctions. It started at a price at just about $10, and the closing price was just over $50. I thought, that's so cheap. I think this is so cool. I would have paid more than that. But maybe people look at these as, oh, that said, aha. So this is a Yahoo auction that ended, I think, this summer in August. But I thought it was fun to show you. Now, if you remember, those storage houses, they're still dotted all throughout the country. From my balcony, I can see 2, and I know that there's 3 for sure in my neighborhood. The 2 I can see, I think, are totally not being used, but there is one as I go to the station that is being used. So if you were a merchant or a broker of everything from cotton to tobacco, paper, sugars, grains, rice, miso, soy sauce, oil, anything of value, even up in Kiryu, There was a lot of lace made, so there's a lot of kura up there still. Really, really lots of kura. So they're all over. You'll see them when you come to Japan. This particular one has been converted to a restaurant. Now many of them have been transformed and kind of experiencing a second life, sometimes art galleries, sometimes homes. Yes, sometimes even you can even stay at a few that have been converted into an inn. But what I really thought was interesting are the boats that sailed out in the Pacific or the Sea of Japan. They were quite large. Here is the small boat that would then be lowered into the water so they could get through those narrow waterways. But when the boat was prepared, look at the way they stacked. So I'm going to start at the top at A, which is where the rope or straw would be stacked. Underneath that would come the textiles. Underneath that would be cotton and tobacco. And then there would be the paper. And underneath paper was the salt, sugar, or grains. Below that, which is G, would be the rice. And then here would be the sake or soy sauce, miso, or cooking oils. And then at the very bottom would be cut granite, stone, or roof tile. So interesting, right? I just think that is really fun. I'd love to get in a time machine. All right, everybody, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.